Hello, 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 hello. I believe I am live. I must be live. I'm so dirty, man. What the hell is this? Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I'm here today to finally. Wait, do you hear me? Does everybody hear me? Do you hear me? I hope you hear me. I hope you hear me. Anyway, I'm here today. Just tell me if you hear me. If you don't hear me, then I guess we'll have a problem. So today, I'm finally here to destroy Mohammed Hijab. And yes, so today I was having quite an okay day. I was kind of resting. I was, going about my day. I thought I published a lot of stuff yesterday, was resting, thought I could do a lot of good stuff today, maybe. I don't know, I could write a little bit behind the scenes, maybe record something. But then I published a little excerpt of a video earlier on Twitter saying that I invited myself on Adam Saleh's podcast, and they rejected me because they said explicitly, quote unquote, I could influence their viewers and manipulate them into thinking my ways. Anyway, so yesterday stuff happened where I ripped up the Quran, for example, and today something happened, and Adam Saleh contacted me and was like, "Hey, would you like to join our podcast?" And I was like, "Oh, sure, yeah, of course. When?" And he said, "Just in an hour." I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure. I just need to get ready. I wish you had told me this earlier, but yeah, I will get ready and I will come." So I arrived, and on the way I thought to myself, "What are they going to do? I know this is not. They're not just being nice to me. I know these people." So I thought what is going to happen is that I'm going to sit down with these two idiots, Adam Saleh and Slim Al Bahir, his friend, and they're probably going to bring Al Dawa into the conversation after a while. That's what I thought was going to happen. I was surprised because I thought Mohammed Hijab would not jump in, because Mohammed Hijab would actually not do these little childish weird things. He would actually have a debate with me and not reduce himself to such a stupidity. That's what I thought. But what happened is that while we were having a conversation, suddenly Mohammed Hijab appeared. And he was sitting there on his couch. Mohammed Hijab was sitting there on his couch and I said, I'm not going to talk to this guy. I brought up how he insulted my wife, threatened people, and all that. I said he can talk to the law. I'm not talking to him. We yelled at each other a little bit, talked over each other. But anyway, in the end, I said, okay, look, come on, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And what these people were actually trying to do is they were trying to trick me into having a fight there, and they were trying to destroy me. Like Mohammed Hijab apparently made a plot with these people, and they were sitting down and trying to get me. They were trying to attack me and trying to expose me for what I am and stuff like that, which is very strange because I was the person who originally made a debate offer to Mohammed Hijab, an online debate offer. But anyway, I thought, okay, this is a good opportunity. Let's just talk. So I talked about the scientific mistakes in the Quran. Mohammed Hijab made a complete idiot of himself. He wanted to change the topic, so we changed it to the prophecies, in which he started making an idiot of himself too. We changed the topic, and I even said, okay, look, we may just have disagreements. I'm not saying that my position is definitely true or that your position is definitely true in these topics. We may just be having a disagreement. And he was like, well, you're obviously we are seeing that you are just wrong because you are misunderstanding Islam. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so, but whatever, let's just move on. So we talked about morality. And then he talked about morality, and he started completely making an idiot of himself on the topic of morality. For example, he told me that I cannot have objective morality as an atheist, and I said, that's not how morality works. 2,000 years of philosophy doesn't work that way. Of course, I can have objective morality. I don't have to believe in God in order to have objective morality. And he said, well, if you don't have objective morality, then you have subjective morality. And I was like, that's not how it works either. It's not just objective morality or subjective morality. There are also different forms of morality. For example, I didn't give this example to him. I will come to that. I don't want to reveal this. I think he made a complete fool of himself when I confronted him on these issues. Anyway, in the end, we talked for like an hour or two. He started yelling at me. He kept telling me how he was educating me and how I clearly have no knowledge and how I have been destroyed today. And I told him how he's a complete idiot who has no basic understanding of philosophy, how his religion is fragile, and how he refuses to have a debate so that his dear Muslim audience can hear that. Of course, I know that since it didn't go as they planned it to go, they will probably cut the live stream and only publish parts of it, or they will not publish it at all, or they will, they will probably shorten it or cut out certain things that I said, or cut out certain things that Mohammed Hijab said. I really genuinely hope that they do not do that, because if they do that, then I'll have to resort to a response to that too. And they will be surprised. But it should be published tomorrow on the podcast of Adam Saleh. And once it is published, you will all see the quality of Mohammed Hijab, who I know exactly refused a debate challenge with me on the topic of whether Islam is the truth or not, because I know that he's very insecure on the topic itself. Not because he's scared of me. I'm not making big claims that people are scared to debate me. I'm making big claims insofar that I argue that these Muslim apologists are scared to properly debate the topic of whether Islam is the truth or not. Unfortunately, I made that debate offer again, and he rejected it after I told him that he should apologize for insulting my wife, and he did not do that. So anyway, that's what happened today. And afterwards, after everything, after we had this long conversation and yelled at each other, and he told me that I was uneducated, that I have been destroyed today. He told them to kick me out, and then what happened is that they kicked me out. So they just suddenly told me to go and educate myself, and that I'm an apus and whatever, and then they kicked me off their podcast. Yeah, that's what actually happened. So today, Adam Saleh invited me. I clearly asked him, is it going to be you and Slim? He said, yeah. I said, okay, fine. We came. Mohammed Hijab joined, wanted to get me. I got him instead. And in the end, they were so outraged that they kicked me off their podcast. And here I am. So I was just kicked off their podcast. I was just kicked off a podcast in which they thought I would not want to be, because I was scared to face Mohammed Hijab. It is hilarious. It is brutally hilarious. It is going to be. I trust that Adam Saleh and Slim Al-Bahir and Mohammed Hijab are very decent people who will definitely publish this conversation tomorrow for everybody to see on their channel, because now everybody knows that we have had such a conversation. I trust that they are people of their word, that they are men of their word, and they will publish this conversation tomorrow so that their dear Muslim audiences can also see this, and so that everybody in my audience can also see this. Otherwise, people would be very disappointed why they cut a debate or don't publish it at all. It's not a debate, by the way. It was a shit show. It was a brawl. We were yelling at each other. And whenever he failed, he was trying to insult me and attack me. In the end, they kicked me out. So today I've been kicked off a podcast in which they thought I would not want to be. Yeah, that also happened. Now I can wait. Kicked off a podcast. Also happened. Man. These people are amazing. I challenged this guy to a debate. He rejected it. He blamed it on my lack of education and whatever. Then he accepted it. And then he said, well, I will not have an online debate with you. I said, we agreed to have an online debate. He said, you shouldn't have trusted me. He said he doesn't want to have a debate online. He wants to have it in person because he only feels confident if he's in front of his audience and impresses his audience with his tone and his movements and his back and forth with his audience, because that's what he relies on, because that's what Islam relies on, sensationalism, not knowledge. After all of that, he insulted my wife. He made veiled rape threats. He told me to commit suicide. He harassed so many other people. When we exposed him for what he is, eventually he wanted to get me and invite me to and get me to a podcast where he thought I would be scared of him and he would control me. There he made a complete fool of himself, and eventually they kicked me off. So my adventure with these people just doesn't seem to end. It has gone fantastic so far. Yeah, I see someone was talking about the comb. I don't think he was combing his beard. He was too nervous. So yeah, that is what happened today. I just wanted to make this publication just to make sure that everybody is aware that we have had indeed a conversation, that it did indeed last about, I would say, 2 hours or 2.5 hours, and that they did indeed kick me off after it didn't go as they thought it would go. And I just want to make sure to share that with everybody so that they cannot run from this, and so that they publish the entire thing. And after they publish the entire thing, of course, I will make a very beautiful review of that, because I know how these people are. They will probably publish it and then share share these little excerpts of it to make it look like, oh, you have been destroyed. Now all the atheists have been destroyed. No, I will publish the whole thing myself. I don't even care about having the permission of them. And I will also review it for everybody to see how amazing Mohammed Hijab understands philosophy and how he understands Islam. So that happened today, everybody. And yes, I must admit, I am very sorry. I must admit, today I tricked everybody into coming here and thinking that this is indeed a debate between me and Mohammed Hijab. And I did so dishonorably. Sometimes we have to do things that we are not proud of. I did so very dishonorably and shamefully because I just wanted to share this big update with you, because I have been tricked, and I wanted to trick everybody in return, because I just wanted to let out the trick. You know, I can't just be tricked myself and then not trick anybody in return. So that's what happened today. Anybody, fantastic. So yeah, I just wanted to share this update quickly. But people are here making comments and super chats. You know what? I will be here for 20 minutes. I will be here for 15 more minutes to just converse with everybody. So for all those who have not seen it, I have yesterday ripped up the Quran on a live stream with David Wood. And as I ripped it up, I deliberately said words while I was ripping it up, because I didn't want people to treat it like David Wood, to just take the video of me ripping up the Quran and just post it out of context. I wanted them to post it with the context or not post it at all. Of course, Muslims have not posted the video, because in my video, I said things like, well, I should demonstrate. Look at this. It's full of garbage here. Wait. I said stuff like, is this worse? Look at this. Is this worse than telling people that they should be killed for leaving their religion? Is this worse than telling people that they should be executed in your ideal world? Is this worse than threatening and raping people? The stuff that I did yesterday. So I'm doing it again, just for all those who have missed it. That happened yesterday on David Wood's live stream. It was a great relief. And they were so outraged about it that they really wanted to destroy me today. That's all the stuff that is going on. I should actually make a recording where I walk in this room. It sounds very nice, very crispy. Can you hear this? Can you hear it? It was funny during this conversation. They were also, why do you think you can just rip up the Quran? Don't you think this is a wrong and terrible act? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And then I started doing it again, and they were going crazy about it. It's it is hilarious, man. How people are outraged about a little dumb piece of paper. How people are outraged about this dumb piece of paper, but they are not outraged about the fact that people should be taken as sex slaves, as captives, as slaves, that I should be executed for no longer believing in this religion, that people should live under forced Islamic law, and that we should not be able to trust any of them, which he also told me today, by the way. He told me that I cannot trust him. Pathetic religion. Pathetic. Yeah. No, I'm making sure that this conversation will be published tomorrow. I'll see. I hope it will be. Yeah. He was scared of me. That's why I'm going to say now. He thinks everybody's scared of him. Now I'm going to say he was scared of me, which is why he kicked me off his channel. I never wanted to say that people are scared of me, but from now on, I will say that he was scared of me. That's what I'm going to say, because I will return those sentiments in exactly the same way that he gives to others. Okay. I have had fun today, man. I didn't expect having so much fun today. I thought it was going to be a boring day where I just want to rest a little bit and focus on focus on other things. But I'm having so much fun. Yesterday I did this to the zoo. Yesterday I did this to the zoo, and today I'm destroying Mohammed Hijab here. Man, these people are fantastic. And I did it. I even had the conversation with him despite the fact that he threatened me, threatened my wife, threatened my family, incited violence, excused violence, insulted my child, my 3-year-old child. Not he, sorry. Ali Dawa did, and he did nothing about it. Insulting my child, that part. But yeah, that's what happened today. And GOP rep made a super chat. Politics made a super chat, didn't say anything, but thank you so much for the super chat. Rick Vio made a super chat and said, best clickbait ever. Yes, I have to do this. I'm sorry, I have to do clickbait because these people try to trick the public and try to trick me. So now I have to trick people like this. Their people will come and see this and will exactly see what has happened. So sometimes we have to do things that we're not proud of. Mohammed Hijab made a super chat. That's the wrong Mohammed Hijab. I wish Mohammed Hijab made a super chat. I think the best super chats are those where Mohammed Hijab is in the comment section and talks about sex and golden showers and gimps. It's very funny. I'm using a software called GIMP to make my thumbnails. And that's the only GIMP that I knew of. And ever since Mohammed Hijab taught us about GIMPs, I now have to think of those sexual gimps whenever I make my thumbnails. It doesn't get out of my head anymore. Thank you so much, dear scholar and apologist of Islam, who has taught me about sexual fantasies. Gerardo Cantu made a super chat and said, why not start a walk away from Islam campaign? Ask for video testimonials from ex-Muslims. I'm actually working on something like that right now. But thank you so much, Gerardo. I appreciate it. Pole Dog made a super chat and said, AP, were you recording the podcast too? Shh. Let's wait till tomorrow. Yeah, no, this is not a debate, everybody. I just tricked everybody. I just tricked you because today I was tricked, or so they thought, by Mohammed Hijab and his people into joining a conversation with them in which Mohammed Hijab appeared and tried to get me. But in the end, he was just so outraged that they kicked me off their podcast because it didn't go the way they thought it would go. So that's what happened today. That's why I made this title. I made this immediately, like 10 minutes after I was kicked off their podcast. I created this live stream just to inform everybody about it and to laugh a little bit more about it. Laura the Apostate made a super chat and said, Ali Dawa and Mohammed Hijab are just children throwing temper tantrums because that's all they can do with us apostates speaking out. They know what we say, it's true, so they cannot intellectually speak about it. Exactly. Think about the fact that Mohammed Hijab made a debate offer to me initially, and I said I will consider having a debate if he stops speaking in such a language with me. And he refused, and he became even worse and started insulting my whole audience and my family. So that's where he broke up the conversation. And we were actually talking about having an actual debate in person, possibly. Second time, I offered him an online debate. He broke up the conversation suddenly, because probably because I told him the topic would be whether Islam is the truth or not. Third time, I made him a debate offer. He didn't respond. Fourth time, I made him a debate offer. He first refused, saying I wasn't qualified to debate him. Then I said, but you made a debate offer before. How is that logical? And then he agreed to having a debate with me. And then he eventually said that we never agreed that it was an online debate. But later he said he actually knew that it was going to be an online debate, which he admitted. But then he didn't leave room for any negotiations and started telling me to commit suicide and that my wife should, and that the Muslims should sexually violate our wives and our women and so on. So yeah, these people are scared. These people are scared to actually have intellectual challenges, intellectual exchanges on the topic of Islam, which is why I think the podcast that we have done today with them, which hopefully should be published tomorrow, should be a good demonstration of how these people actually think and how fragile their belief is. Yep. Laura the Apostate, I completely agree with you. Emir Hassa made a super chat and said, Islam is the religion of peace. Convert or rest in pieces. And let Hijab talk more nonsense. He's doing us a favor. Yeah. Well, he's only feeding the thing that is going on right now. I'm going to... I told everybody that I'm working on a video called The End of Mohammed Hijab because I made him a debate offer. If he accepts the debate offer, we can have a debate. If he doesn't reject the debate offer, then I will debate one-sidedly about him. And I will demonstrate to everybody how his understanding of religion and philosophy is completely flawed and stupid. Like, for example, today he told me that there was only objective morality for those who understand morality. He said there was only objective morality and subjective morality. I said, wait, wait, wait. Is there only objective morality and subjective morality? Is there no other type of morality? And he was like, no, there's only objective and subjective. If you don't have objective moral values, then you must have subjective moral values. And I was like, that's not true. Because normally there are, in modern terms, there are more kinds of ways of looking at morality. For example, moral relativism or skepticism, for example. He wasn't aware of that. And he claims to be an expert in moral philosophy because he apparently got some degree that he paid for, which he studied for a few weeks. I will demonstrate all that. It will be coming. I made the fair offer to have a debate. They refused it, and now they will be destroyed. I'm sorry. Dirk Friedrichsen became a member. David Cruz became a member. Yunus El Farsi became a member. Wow, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Welcome to the club. I hope we can do more stuff together soon. They became prophets. Thank you so much and welcome. Jay Miller made a super chat and didn't say anything. David Wood made a super chat. David, I'm so glad that you were here. I enjoyed our show yesterday so much. From ripping up the Quran and telling people why I'm doing it, man, I loved that feeling. I felt so much relief afterwards. I was like, this is the best night that I've had in a long time. It was like, I don't know. I want to compare it to other things right now that wouldn't be appropriate for a YouTube live stream, but it felt very good. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, he said, will the apostate prophet apologize for tearing up the Holy Quran and insulting the perfectly preserved speech of the great God Allah? I apologize for ripping up the Quran. I apologize. I don't apologize. I don't apologize. I wonder how David Wood feels after he has eaten pages that have so many holes in it. How does it feel to eat holes, David? Is that a dumb joke? Maybe it's a dumb joke. I don't know. I can't tell right now. I'm tired. Emir Hasa made a super chat and said, today I also subbed to your Patreon. Support AP. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much, Emir Hasa. Thank you. Paul Dog. Yeah, people are coming. Mohammed Hijab fans are coming here screaming. You will see what happened to Mohammed Hijab tomorrow, hopefully. Paul Dog made a super chat and said, what did they ask on the podcast? What did they ask on the podcast? They asked me to present my biggest arguments against Islam. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to present my biggest arguments against Islam. I will present my biggest arguments against Islam once you agree to have a debate with me, a formal debate with me on a third-party platform. Do you want to do that or not? And he said, no, he doesn't want to do that. Fine. I said, then I'm not going to present to you my biggest points. But then we started talking about science, and he became an idiot about it. AJ Soundbite said, treat him like he treats others. Believe me, I wouldn't even treat Mohammed Hijab the way he treats others because I'm not as terrible as he is. But I will not treat him nicely either. I evidently haven't. And Charles Rhodes said, make the Quran into a paper much Muhammad. Is that a word that you pronounce in a weird way? Paper mash paper. I don't know. Anyway, but thank you for the super chat. I could do lots of things with those Quran pages that are here on my ground, which make people crazy. But for now, I think we have gone through enough. Tatiana J said, the guy he works for admitted there is no scientific miracles in the Quran. Yes, well, the thing is, Mohammed Hijab didn't argue that the Quran has scientific miracles. But what he did argue was that the Quran is both compatible with the 7th century and also compatible with today's understanding of science. And I said that's just simply not true. It is completely not compatible with today's understanding of science. It is only compatible with an old understanding of science. And he had to concede because he wasn't really expecting to, and he was trying to cite these Quran verses from his mind and recite them to me and impress with his great interactions with the Muslims, whereas he was failing to defend the Quran scientifically. But you will see, seriously. Just I hope they will publish it. Ricardo Loyola made a super chat and said, Hijab and Dawa are like the Ren and Stimpy of apologetics, only less funny. Do you will you be mad at me if I don't know what Ren and Stimpy is? The Ren and Stimpy show. Although those are these guys. I didn't watch stuff like that. I don't know. I'm very sorry for not understanding this reference, but I hope you can forgive me today, just because I'm a good guy, or at least I try to be. Lucifer made a super chat and didn't say anything. Tom S made a super chat and just made thumbs ups. Sorry for clickbaiting everybody. By the way, this is not a clickbait. This is actually just me trying to tell everybody that Mohammed Hijab tried to trick me into a fight today, and then completely made an idiot of himself when the talk actually happened. So, and I just want to make sure that they will publish that conversation tomorrow. So yeah, I didn't know how else I should announce this to the public. If he wants to trick people like this, I will trick people into thinking this is the Mohammed Hijab Apostate Prophet debate, and then people will actually listen to me and hear from me for the first time what actually happened before they tomorrow publish false footage. Heiste Pasca made a super chat and said, "Hey you, thank you, Heiste Pasca." B. Demirbaş made a super chat and said, Esenlikler Rıdvan. It's in Turkish. Wonderful. Thank you so much, B. Demirbaş. Whatever your real name is. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate always to see Turks from Europe here or from everywhere. I appreciate seeing everybody here. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't expect this to be a huge conversation here. Okay. Amir Zaidain said, stop calling Apostate Prophet Apis, or I will attack your Mo. They can call me Apis all they want. And if that's the best thing they have to call me Apis after calling for my killing, then I'm sorry. I will still go on and say, is this worse than calling for the killing of people based on their religious beliefs? Is this worse than calling for the death of people for their opinions? Is this worse than calling for the death of people for their criticism of Islam? Dear Mohammed Hijab, respond to me. Dear fans of Mohammed Hijab, dear Ali Dawa, respond to me. Is this worse than threatening people and justifying their death for their beliefs and opinions? I don't think so. Okay. Heiste Pasca made a super chat and said, Zakir Naik would crush you not. Oh, okay, okay. I'm glad you added that. I believe he would crush me. Zakir Naik would crush me. I believe that Zakir Naik would completely destroy and defeat me in a debate, which is why I think he should definitely debate me. Zakir Naik, this is a challenge to you. And by the logic of your own fans, if you reject this challenge, then that means you have lost and you are a coward, even if it's Zakir Naik. So if Zakir Naik does, okay, I'm making a debate challenge to Zakir Naik and he has 3 days to respond. If he doesn't respond, then it means he's a coward. If he rejects, that means also he's a coward. If he accepts, that would be awesome. That's the logic of Muslim apologists. So I'm just applying the same to you. I'm sorry. Paul Dog made a super chat and said, you can criticize political parties, Islamism too. I completely agree. Not completely. So, dear Zakir Naik, I'm talking to you. Accept the debate challenge. Stop running, Zakir Naik. Stop running. Zakir Naik, stop running. Accept the debate challenge. Accept the challenge. I suddenly thought I'm PewDiePie. I feel like I'm PewDiePie when I do that. I don't know. Can you do this? Yunus El Farsi made a super chat and said, what do you think of this as a video idea for your channel? Discussing the satanic verses of Surah and Najm. I've thought about doing that forever. I just didn't do it. I don't know why. Maybe I could bring that up quite soon. Someone said no debate. No, Victor Roque. Unfortunately, there is no debate. I challenged Mohammed Hijab to a debate, but unfortunately, he's not here. He ran from a debate because he's scared. He's scared to defend his position. He's scared to defend the idea that Islam is the truth. Unfortunately, Mohammed Hijab, who I heard before that Mohammed Hijab was the best Muslim apologist. I heard that he's the best that they have. I heard he's the big guy, you know. So I was expecting Mohammed Hijab to actually, face me and to have a debate with me on whether Islam is the truth or not. But I know he doesn't have the courage to have a debate, which is very, very bad. I'm kind of disappointed. I was expecting more from Mohammed Hijab. And when he had a conversation with me, he also showed that he had a very bad understanding of Islam and of logic and philosophy, which makes me really think, what the hell, man? How low are the standards of Muslim apologetics? Like, I could be a complete idiot who eats his brain for breakfast and go out there and be recognized as one of the best Muslim apologists. Unfortunately, this is how the world looks as of now, which is why we need to save Muslims from this big problem that is called Islam, this intellectual hole. Unfortunately, Mohammed Hijab did not appear, everybody. I'm very sorry. B. Demirbash made a super chat and said, and didn't say anything. He just made a super sticker, which says, "You're amazing." Thank you so much, B. Demirbash. I appreciate it very much. Çok teşekkürler. Esenlikler. And GameFab. This is a channel where we only talk about very serious things. So please, okay, he said the apostate. If I was an arrogant person like Mohammed Hijab, I would probably call myself the apostate prophet. That's a good idea. Thank you, GameFab. It's interesting that it comes from someone who was called GameFab. But thank you so much for that. And thank you for the super chat. But the super chat goes in full: the apostate prophet versus Mohammed Hijab. Now you made me say it. What am I going to do now? Am I going to be? Is this video going to be demonetized now because I said a sex word? Because I said a bad word? Of course, it's going to be demonetized. It's never going to be monetized to begin with. Anyway, but thank you. There are more that you can do about that. You can call him Mohammed Handjob. Okay, I'm not going to go on with that. I will leave that to you. Don't block people, Tatiana. Just leave them. But just because you asked to be a mod and made a super chat, I will make you a mod today. Here, become a moderator. I have just made you a moderator. Thank you for your super chat and thank you for your request to be a moderator. But please, I beg you, just let people type whatever they want. Let them type whatever they want. I don't want anybody blocked except if they make very outrageous things, such as threatening people and their lives and saying things that are clearly against very far limits of common decency and against the law. Otherwise, if people want to call people names and stuff like that, just leave them. Zachary Harry made a super chat and said, "What did you think of the Muslims in Kingdom of Heaven?" Man, I watched it when I was very young, and I watched it actually over the last 10 years or so, sometime too. I think it was a gross misrepresentation of history and of the Crusaders. But there's not much that I can actually say about that. I don't know. I've pretty much forgotten the whole plot, except that it was kind of a romanticization of the Muslim invaders of Jerusalem under Saladin. The Cult Breaker made a super chat and said, Mohammed Hijab will desperately offer Okay. What is this? The Cult Breaker made a super chat and said, Mo HJ will desperately offer a BJ to make DW stop. I didn't say it. I'm just reading. B. Demirbaş made another super chat and said, bu arada adım Bülent. Merhaba Bülent. Çok memnun oldum. Çok teşekkürler ismini paylaştığın için. Çok sağ ol bu arada katkıların için. Thank you so much. That was a little bit of Turkish. Thank you so much, B. Demirbaş. I appreciate it very much. And Carlos Camejo said, mehr videos auf Deutsch, bitte. More videos in German, please. I wanted to do German videos long ago. I've kind of given up on that. I don't think I have the time or the nerves to do videos in German. I think German people can very much watch the videos in English too. I would rather tend to the Turkish audience, for example, which Turks are terrible at English. Sorry for saying that, dear Turks. They don't understand what I'm saying anyway, so... I would rather reserve more time for them and make videos in Turkish. Yeah. Arabian Empress, but there are people who do things in German. For example, there's Hamid Abdel Samad, I think, who does stuff in German, and he does a really good job. I don't know if he does German, actually, or if he does only Arabic. And Isa Uvay said, AP, have you ever considered Jesus? Yes, I have. That's the question. Arabian Empress of Christ made a super chat and said, we love you and stand with you and all other apostates and ex-Muslims as our brothers and sisters in humanity. God bless you, AP. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. No, that was not the response to have you ever considered Christ. I have, but I would not want to talk about it right now. I talk about that so often. I will probably make a whole video about why I don't believe in God. That I'm making that. I've been making that for half a year, but I'm preparing it now to be published, actually. So yeah. Yeah, that's all I want to say. See, I wanted to be here for just 5 minutes to announce that we just had a big encounter with Mohammed Hijab, whereafter they kicked me off their podcast because it didn't go as they planned. But now I have been here for 35 minutes. I will go off. I will leave. I didn't plan to have a live stream today. Hopefully, maybe I can have another live stream this week and talk to everybody. But for now, I will be going home, and I will post more updates about this. Wait for this stuff tomorrow. So for all those who have joined in later, who don't know what's going on, although you can watch this later and can understand what this is about, Adam Saleh invited me to a podcast. I asked him, only you and Slim, which is his friend, and he said yes. Then I went there, and then Mohammed Hijab joined the conversation after 5 minutes because they said we have no idea about Islam. So 5 minutes later, Mohammed Hijab joined. I kind of expected Ali Dawa to join, but Mohammed Hijab joined. And I said, I'm not going to talk to you because you have insulted my wife and did terrible things. But in the end, we started yelling at each other, having a conversation, having a debate. He made an idiot of himself in terms of scientific mistakes of the Quran, prophecies, philosophy, and so on. And in the end, he resorted to insulting and yelling at me. And then they kicked me off their podcast. So that's what happened tonight. Gloriously. Anyway, I will be leaving and coming back with much more this week. Stay tuned. The adventure continues. And for all those who want to enjoy it again, is this really worse than telling me I should be killed for my beliefs? Is this really worse than telling me I should be put to death? Okay. It's too much, man. I should order new Qurans. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Glad to see you here. And no, the podcast will be up tomorrow, as they said. That's what they are planning. I hope they will fully publish it. I doubt it, though. But if they don't, then I will have to respond to that. Thank you all so much for joining. I will see you again. How do I end this live stream? There's no end button here. Oh, here. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I will give more information about that tomorrow once I see whether they publish it or not. Have a fantastic evening and or day or night or whatever it is that you people have over there. I will see you again, and stay away from Islam. And by the way, Zakir Naik, don't run from me. I challenge you to a debate, Zakir Naik. Have a good day. Stay away from Islam.